I never thought I'd be the kind of person who would sit in front of a camera, or even just a blank document, and pour out my heart like this. But here I am, because my life, as I knew it, ended 2 weeks ago, and I don't know how to make sense of it. My fiancée, someone I loved more than anything in this world, cheated on me. Not just anywhere, not just some random night. No, it was at her bachelorette party, the night that was supposed to celebrate our love, our commitment, our future together. And now, I don't even know who she is anymore. I don't know who I am, and I sure as hell don't know what to do next. Let me start from the beginning, or at least from where it all started to unravel. My fiancée and I, let's call her Sarah, have been together for nearly 7 years. 7 years of laughter, of building a life together, of dreaming about the future. We bought a house. We adopted a dog. We planned a wedding, our wedding, that was supposed to happen next month. Everything was perfect, or at least I thought it was. We had our little disagreements, sure. What couple doesn't? But nothing major. No fights that left scars. No betrayals. No secrets. Or so I thought. That's what makes this so hard to wrap my head around. There were no warning signs, no red flags, just happiness. And then in one night, it was all gone. 2 weeks ago, Sarah came to me with an idea. She wanted us to have bachelor and bachelorette parties. I'll be honest, I hated the idea from the start. Not because I don't trust her, but because I don't trust the culture around these things. You hear the stories. The last night of freedom. The one final hurrah before settling down. It's like society gives you a free pass to act like you're not about to make a lifelong commitment to someone. And I didn't want that. I didn't want either of us to feel like we needed one last night to be single. If you're ready to get married, why would you need that? Why would you even want it? I told Sarah exactly how I felt. I said I was uncomfortable with the idea, that it felt like we were inviting trouble, that I didn't want either of us to be in a situation where we might do something we'd regret. And she listened. She reassured me. She promised me that if we did this, it would be low-key. Just friends, some drinks, celebrating us. No wild parties, no strip clubs, no last night of freedom nonsense. She told me I was overthinking it, that I could trust her. And I did, because I always had. So, we planned it. We set boundaries. We agreed to have our parties on the same night, this past Wednesday. I invited my friends over to our place. We ordered pizza, cracked open some beers, and I ran a special Dungeons and Dragons campaign for them. It was centered around my character getting married. Cheesy, I know, but it was fun, lighthearted. Exactly the kind of night I wanted. Meanwhile, Sarah went out with her friends for a pub crawl. I didn't think much of it. She'd promised me it would be fine, and I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? She'd never given me a reason not to. 3 hours into our game, my phone buzzed. It was a text from a mutual friend. Let's call her Lisa. She was at the bachelorette party with Sarah. The message was short. Just 4 words. We need to talk. My stomach dropped. I tried to play it cool. I texted back, asking what was wrong. But Lisa wouldn't say over text. She said she needed to tell me in person, that it wasn't something she could, or should, put in a message. I tried to focus on the game, but my mind was racing. What could be so bad that she couldn't just tell me? Why did she need to come over? The anxiety was eating me alive. By the time Lisa arrived, my friends had left, and I was sitting alone in the living room, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Lisa looked nervous. She sat down across from me, and I could see the hesitation in her eyes. She started by saying she didn't want to be the one to tell me, that she wished she didn't have to. But she felt like I deserved to know. And then she said it. Sarah cheated on you tonight. I don't even know how to describe what that felt like. It was like the world stopped, like someone had reached into my chest and ripped my heart out. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. All I could do was stare at her, waiting for her to take it back, to say it was a joke, a misunderstanding, anything. But she didn't. Instead, she pulled out her phone and showed me a video. There she was, my Sarah, the woman I loved, the woman I was supposed to marry in less than a month. She was at a bar, surrounded by her friends, laughing, drinking, and then she was kissing some guy. Not a peck, not an accident, a full-on, passionate kiss. And her friends? They were cheering her on, like it was something to celebrate, like it was funny, like it was no big deal. I felt like I was going to be sick. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. But all I could do was sit there, frozen, as my entire world collapsed around me. Lisa told me the video had been shared in the group chat Sarah and her friends were using to plan the party. That meant it wasn't just a spontaneous mistake. It wasn't some drunken accident. It was something they all knew about, something they were all okay with, something they were celebrating. And Sarah, my Sarah, was right there in the middle of it, kissing a stranger like it was nothing, like our relationship meant nothing, like I meant nothing. I asked Lisa for all the details. She told me how the night started with Sarah's maid of honor complaining about me, saying I was controlling and jealous because I didn't want a traditional bachelorette party. Sarah didn't defend me. She didn't shut it down. She just let it happen. And as the night went on, her friends started encouraging her to flirt with guys at the bar. At first, Sarah resisted, weakly, but eventually she gave in. And Lisa, who had already left by then, saw the video in the group chat later. She said she felt sick when she saw it, that she knew she had to tell me. And I'm glad she did. But God, I wish she didn't have to. After Lisa left, I sat there for what felt like hours. I was numb. I couldn't cry. I couldn't move. I just sat there, staring at the wall, trying to process what had just happened. Eventually, the shock wore off, and the pain set in. I broke down. I cried like I haven't cried since I was a kid. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that the woman I loved, the woman I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with, had done this to me. And not just cheated, but cheated in the most hurtful way possible. At her own bachelorette party, with her friends cheering her on, it was like a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. When I finally pulled myself together, I sent Sarah a text. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to hear her excuses. I just told her I knew what she'd done and that the wedding was off. Almost immediately, my phone exploded. Texts from her friends, trying to downplay it, trying to explain it away, trying to make excuses for her. And then texts from Sarah herself, begging me to talk to her, pleading with me to forgive her, saying it was just a kiss, that she was drunk, that she didn't know what she was doing, that she still loved me, that she'd never do it again, that she'd cut off her friends if that's what it took to fix things between us. And then she showed up at my door, crying, sobbing, a complete mess. She begged me to listen to her. She swore it was just a mistake, that it didn't mean anything, that she'd do anything to make it right. But I couldn't even look at her. I couldn't speak. I just sat there, numb, while she cried and apologized and promised me the world. And all I could think was, how do I trust her again? How do I trust myself again? How do I ever move past this? I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to forgive her, to believe that this was just a mistake, that she's still the woman I fell in love with, that we can fix this. But another part of me, the part that's screaming the loudest, knows that I'll never be able to trust her again, that I'll always wonder, that I'll always be waiting for the next betrayal. And I don't know if I can live like that. I don't know if I can marry someone knowing that this is a part of our story now. that this is something I'll have to carry with me for the rest of my life. So I'm asking you, what would you do? If you were in my shoes, would you forgive her? Would you try to move past it? Or would you walk away and never look back? Because right now, I don't know which way is up. I don't know what the right answer is. All I know is that I'm hurting and I'm lost, and I don't know how to find my way back. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something like this, or if you just have thoughts on what you do, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because sometimes, just knowing you're not alone can make all the difference. I keep replaying that night in my head. The texts, the video, the way my hands shook when I sent her that message. I know what you did. The wedding is off. I didn't even give her a chance to explain, not because I didn't want to hear it, but because I was terrified of what I might hear. Was it just a kiss? Or was there more? Did she regret it immediately? Or did she only regret getting caught? These questions haunt me. They keep me up at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'll ever sleep soundly again. And then there's the guilt. Because as much as I'm hurting, I can't help but wonder, did I push her into this? Was I too controlling? Too rigid? She told me I was overthinking the bachelorette party, but maybe she was right. Maybe if I'd been more relaxed, more trusting, none of this would have happened. But then another voice in my head screams, no, this isn't your fault. Cheating is a choice. Drunk or not, peer pressured or not, she made that choice. And now I have to live with the consequences. The worst part? The wedding. It's all still there. The venue is booked. The invitations are out. Our families are excited. And now I have to tell everyone it's off. I have to explain why. I have to watch the pity in their eyes, the disappointment, the whispers behind my back. Did you hear what happened? I always knew she was too good for him. Maybe he drove her to it. It's like I'm not just losing my fiancée, I'm losing my future, my reputation, my sense of self. And for what? A kiss? A drunken mistake? Or is it something deeper? Something that means our entire relationship was a lie? I keep thinking about the vows we were supposed to say, for better or for worse. Well, this is the worse, isn't it? But how much worse does it have to get before I walk away? And if I do walk away, then what? Do I just erase 7 years of my life? Do I pretend like none of it ever happened? Or do I spend the rest of my life wondering, what if? What if I'd forgiven her? What if we'd worked through it? What if this was just a blip and I threw away something real? I've spent hours online reading stories of people who've been cheated on. Some say you should never take a cheater back. Others say relationships can survive infidelity if both people are willing to put in the work. But how do I know which one is right? How do I know if we're the kind of people who can come back from this? I love her. God, I still love her. But love isn't enough, is it? Not if I can't trust her. Not if every time she goes out with her friends, I'm going to be waiting for another text, another video, another betrayal. And what about her? Does she even deserve my forgiveness? She says she's sorry. She says she'll never do it again. But how many cheaters say that? How many of them actually mean it? And even if she does mean it, can I ever really believe her? Or am I just setting myself up for another heartbreak down the road? I hate that I'm even considering forgiving her. I hate that part of me wants to. Because what does that say about me? That I'm weak? That I'm a doormat? That I'd rather be with someone who hurt me than be alone? I don't want to be that guy. But I also don't want to be the guy who throws away 7 years over one mistake. Even if that mistake feels like a knife in my back. Her friends keep texting me, apologizing, saying they didn't mean to encourage her. saying they didn't think it would go that far. But they did encourage her. They did cheer her on. And now they're acting like they had no part in this, like they're not responsible. But they are. They helped destroy my relationship. And I don't know if I can ever forgive them for that either. I haven't told our families yet. I don't know how. How do you look your future mother-in-law in the eye and say, yeah, the wedding's off because your daughter kissed some guy at a bar? How do you explain that to your own parents who've been counting down the days? I keep imagining their faces, the shock, the disappointment, the awkward silence, and then the questions. Are you sure? Maybe you're overreacting? People make mistakes, you know. Like it's my fault for not just brushing it under the rug and moving on. I've thought about couples therapy, but how do I even bring that up? Hey, since you cheated on me, want to go talk to a stranger about our feelings? It feels ridiculous. It feels hopeless. And yet, part of me wonders if it's the only way forward. If we don't try everything, will I always regret it? I don't know what I'm asking for here. Advice? Sympathy? Just a place to scream into the void? Maybe I just need to hear that I'm not crazy for feeling this way. That it's okay to be devastated. That it's okay to not know what to do. Because right now, I feel like I'm drowning, and I don't know which way is up. If you've ever been through something like this, or if you just have thoughts on what you'd do in my situation, please, leave a comment. Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me it gets better. Or tell me to run as far as I can from her. I don't know what I need to hear, but I need to hear something. Thank you for listening, really. It means more than I can say. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe. And if you know someone who's going through something similar, share this with them. Maybe we can all find some answers together. I'll update you when I figure out what I'm going to do. Until then, I'm just trying to breathe.